Welcome to CESASC's 60th Annual Convention. Thank you all for coming.
Chinese American Engineers and Scientists Association of Southern California was founded 60 years ago by Mr. Henry Chi and Dr. Louis Chi and a group of their friends. Unfortunately, we lost both of them recently, and they cannot be with us tonight. But I'm sure they're very proud of us of carrying on the legacies of theirs and the forerunners and serving the Engineers and Scientists Association for many years.
Indeed. The theme of this year's convention is 60-year legacy, inherent, innovate, inspire.
60 years is a very long time. This is the effort of 4 or 5 generations of people like you who devoted your time, money, and knowledge and selflessly to help the organization thrive and prosper.
We appreciate all the great work our past boards and volunteers of CESASC have done for the Chinese American community. And we also appreciate every one of you for joining us here today in this grand celebration.
We would also like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, the Platinum sponsors, CESASC Scholarship Foundation, the Anna Zhang J.C. Foundation, Xue Mei Wei, Portfolio Manager, Chartered Financial Analyst at UBS, Lisa Liu Foundation, and Jonathan H. Zhang.
And our gold sponsors, Torrance Memorial Medical Center, East West Bank, Cultural Foundations of Zhendaihe, USA, Technology Credit, Mega Kid Robotics Lab, Shang Law Firm, Amy Chang Realtor, Law Office of Bingley and Associates. We'd also like to thank our silver sponsors, friendship sponsors, and individual table sponsors. Today's event wouldn't have been possible without your generous donation and support, and your sponsorship really makes a difference and a big impact. Thank you.
Now, please all rise for the national anthem. Please all rise.
The national anthem will be performed by actress Miss Beverly Duan, who was named by Vogue as one of the 100 best dressed celebrities. Thank you. Here?
Oh, so can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ms. Duan.
We will now hear welcome remarks from Dr. Bruce Liu, the current president of CESASC. Welcome.
球下去了。
Please go to next page. Good evening. Dear CESASC and members and friends, welcome to 2022 CESASC Annual Convention and the 60th year anniversary celebration gala. It has been 2 long years, pandemics and virtual events. Finally, we meet in person again. What a great feeling. I understand some of our senior members still have concerns, and we'll show some photos and videos after the event with them. This year, we choose Inherit, Innovate, Inspire as the theme to celebrate CESASC's 60 years of legacy. In a moment, you'll see a short video of CESASC's history and milestones. This special edition of CESASC and annual journal also contains many stories from former presidents. We started our event in the afternoon with 2 forums. Our 2 chairs, Jia Chen and Jing Tan, will present their summaries. Our evening program will feature 3 keynote speakers. Dr. Kai-Fu Lee will talk about artificial intelligence. Professor Yitang Zhang will share extraordinary stories about their academic career. Professor Yang Chai will talk about enhancing smells and changing lives. CESASC has been a leader in inspiring and supporting young scientists, engineers, and artists. Congratulations to all 2022 recipients and winners of CESASC Scholarship, Lisa Lu Scholarship, Zhendai He Scholarship, STEAM IC Contest, and JHJ Prize. At CESASC, services and collaborations are highly valued. This year, we'll again honor outstanding contributors with service and appreciation awards. We'll also give the first ever Outstanding Partner Award. With COVID-19 lingering, it is quite challenging to organize such a big event. I want to thank our team and volunteers for your hard work, and thank sponsors, partners, and everyone here for your strong support. Hope you will enjoy this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bruce, for your leadership. Today, we celebrate CESASC's 60th birthday. Over the years, CESASC has served as a platform to enrich competence of Chinese American engineers and scientists, to broaden their career perspectives, and to protect their interests and rights through organizational efforts. Next, we'll have a video featuring the 60-year legacy of CESASC. Please enjoy.
CESASC is the result of one man's vision, Henry Chi, to unite the Chinese-American engineers and scientists of Southern California. It all began back in the spring of 1961, when Henry Chi invited 14 good friends to discuss the formation of a Chinese Engineers Club. This club was officially established in the spring of 1962, and Henry Chi became the first president.
Being honest with yourself and have a broad dream. You know, people, whatever the color is, when they watch movies, they're not watching you, they're watching themselves. So you want to think about what you can share that inspire people, the audience, instead of accept me as a minority. So what do I have to offer?
Such an amazing and inspiring video. I wish you got a chance to scan our QR code, but if you haven't got a chance, let me know and I can share with you our WeChat platform. And thank you for your support for CESAC over the years. And next, we would like to welcome all the former and current presidents to come to the stage for group photos. And we want to capture this memorable moment and thank you for your dedication to CESAC over the years. Now please welcome all the former and current presidents to come to the stage.
让他们上菜，说一声让。
And at the same time, we're ready to serve the dinner. So. Yeah, many thanks to all the past and current presidents of CESAC. Thank you for your dedication to CESAC and the Chinese American community over the years. We also appreciate the support from elected officials. Next, Dr. Charlie Liu, the chair of CESAC's board of directors, will introduce the elected officials who are here with us tonight to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Today we're honored to have some leaders, elected officials, to present their congratulations to the CESAC's 60-year anniversary. The first one to present is, she is not an engineer or scientist, but her father and brother are engineers. She is in the CESAC family. She is also the highest ranked Chinese American elected official. Let's welcome Fiona Ma, State Treasurer.
Hi, my name is Fiona Ma, your California State Treasurer. Welcome to the 60th annual conference hosted by the Chinese American Engineer and Scientists of Southern California. I'm sorry I'm not able to be there with you in person this year, but my father is an engineer. He is trained as a mechanical engineer. My brother is a civil engineer. And so when I had this opportunity to say a few words, I jumped at it because engineers are so important to the state of California, to the world, obviously to my family, and especially the scientists. We depend on you for the real facts and the data so that we can dispel the myths on so many issues because we can say the science is in. Thank you to all you do in the areas of STEM. I was good at math, so I am an accountant, and I encourage all of our young people, especially the young girls, to get more involved in STEM programs. Your motto this year, inherit, innovate, and inspire, is perfect for this post-COVID time. I'd like to congratulate your president, Dr. Bruce Liu, your chair, Dr. Charlie Liu, and also your president-elect, Shen-Chi Guo. Thank you all for your leadership, for inspiring the next generation, educating us, and ensuring that California remains the 5th largest economy. Have a great evening. I look forward to collaborating with all of you. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fan Yang, Executive Assistant for California State Treasurer Fiona Ma for this event. I'm also a 2021 CESASC scholarship recipient. Unfortunately, State Treasurer Ma cannot be here with you tonight, but she sent me to say congratulations to CESASC for its 60th anniversary convention. Thank you, scientists and engineers, for your contribution to make California to become the 5th largest economy in this world. Without further ado, please allow me to present the certificates on behalf of Honorable State Treasurer Fiona Ma. Thank you so much and have a great evening. Certificate for Dr. Charlie Liu. Dr. Bruce Liu. Chen-Chi Guo. Next, we have two Los Angeles County supervisors. The first one is our next, please. Next page, please. Yes, we have our Los Angeles County supervisor, Hilda Solis. She is a legendary. She was the former Secretary of Labor Department, ranked number 9 in the U.S. government. She won't be here. She has her representative here. We also have Catherine Barger, another Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors. She sent a video. Please play the video first.
Hi, I'm Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger. Congratulations to the Chinese American Engineers and Scientists Association of Southern California on your 60th convention. It is so valuable for people in the industry who share a common life experience and career expertise to learn from one another. We are strongest when we work together, and this organization is proof of how powerful it is when we share skills and offer each other support. In Los Angeles County, we are deeply grateful for the immeasurable contributions of the Chinese American community as engineers and scientists, and also as friends and neighbors, both at work and in our neighborhoods. I thank you for your investment to make our region more innovative. Your time and talent make a sincere difference. Each of your advancements will serve and strengthen Southern California and the world. I wish you a very successful convention and hope it lays the groundwork for the years to come. My thanks to President Dr. Bruce Liao and Dr. Chairman Charlie Liu for your leadership and stewardship of this great organization. Best wishes to your board as you embark on this new chapter. And congratulations to the scholarship recipients who are paving the way as our next generation of leaders. May your organization continue to grow and thrive.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jimmy Wu. I'm the field deputy to Supervisor Catherine Barger. Truly honored to represent both County Supervisor Hilda Solis and Catherine Barger to be here tonight. And I want to definitely, relay their congratulations to Bruce Liu and Charlie Liu, and also the Chinese American Scientists Engineers Association. What a remarkable achievement for the last 60 years. It's truly great, remarkable. So on here, I'm so honored to present the certificate to Charlie Liu and Bruce Liu, and also the association.
Next, the last but not the least, that's our brother. He is a lifetime member of CESASC for 20 years. He has been with us for 20 years. Now, she become a mayor, the first Chinese American who earned a college degree to become the mayor in California, the first one. He made history. Today is also a special day for him. Happy birthday, Mayor Tony Ding. Please on stage.
Thank you, Charlie, to introduce. Hi, everyone. I'm Tony Ding, Mayor of the City of San Gabriel. Actually, I'm a mayor, but today the event for me, it's back to the home. That's my event because I'm the life member. And bring me the 20 years ago, I also joined the CESASC with my Jiao Tong University Alumni Association. It's Charlie Wen and Xiang Li. They encouraged me to involve this good organization. And the founder is also Jiao Tong University alumni too, Dr. Billy Chi. And so it's really give me it's a lot of the good memory. It's first of all, They are 60 years, the decade, and it's done a tremendous job for our Chinese engineer and science. I'm the Shanghai Jiao Tong University, the computer science graduate, and plus I have the good work together with Song Zhumei. It's Bruce Liu and Charlie Liu, and Charlie also under my another organization. We just finished yesterday the big event, the Thanks USA. He's our new chairperson. So after 60 years, I feel it's a very good. We're not just the engineer science. We also need to involve our politicians for our local and have our voice come out. So yeah, it's for me, it's just represent our city of San Gabriel, and it's they do the good job. Also, I know the new president is my Shanghai Jiao Tong University alumni too, right? Okay, coming the chairman, Dr. Charlie Liu, and President Dr. Bruce Liu.
Thank you.
And new President Terry Kuo.
Okay, next page, please. There is one legendary. He's such a super achiever. He was the leader in artificial intelligence when he was young. Then he became a technology executive in Google. He also founded Microsoft Research in Asia. Then he changed his route to become a venture capitalist. In between, he got sick, very sick. He got cancer. He quit everything. Magic happens. He became a cancer survivor. Today, he cannot join us, but he will present a very interesting topic based on his own experience. Artificial intelligence, healthcare, the challenge and opportunities. Let's welcome Dr. Kai-Fu Lee.
Hello, I'm Kai-Fu Lee from Sinovation Ventures, and my talk is about AI and healthcare, the challenges and opportunities that are brought about by the confluence of artificial intelligence and healthcare. First, let me explain something about artificial intelligence. Many people assume that AI is about modeling the human brain. While it is correct that artificial intelligence applications are trying to do things that we used to think that only humans can do, the AI brain actually works very differently from the human brain. The human brain is able to draw inferences, make analytical decisions, and extrapolate from few examples, while the AI brain requires a huge amount of data to train. The AI brain is not programmed by the human by saying if then else kind of rules the way that we think our brain operates, but rather AI brain works best when we present millions or even billions of examples of data, and then we tell the AI what the grand truth is so that it can form its own formulation and its own self-organized organized structure so that it can learn from. The structures are very different. For example, if we wanted to learn the difference between a dog and a cat, we wouldn't actually program AI to say cats have whiskers and things like that. We would just show millions of pictures of cats, millions of pictures of dogs, and labeling each one correctly and letting AI build its own mathematical model of how to best discriminate dogs and cats. As a result, because AI works differently from the human brain, there are these 5 major differences. When it comes to using more data, then AI needs more data but can beat people once it has the data to learn from. Secondly, AI can optimize what's called an objective function, which means to optimize some outcome, such as maximize the recognitions of dogs and cats, or maximizing people's click-through on Facebook newsfeed, or maximizing people's purchases on recommended Amazon products. These are things that AI can focus very targetedly and deliver a fantastic result by doing a great job optimizing a business metric or any other metric that needs to be optimized. Thirdly, AI can make a different decision for every person. The reason that our kids are sometimes addicted to YouTube or TikTok is because those video platforms understand what each person likes to watch and targets each person differently individually. Just like if you took your son or daughter's TikTok, you might not really like the content, but they really like it. So TikTok is able to make specific targeted recommendations for each individual based on that person. And humans can't do that with that degree of granularity. However, the last 2 rows shows areas where the human is stronger. Humans can conceptualize, reason, make common sense, learn from few examples, draw insight, and able to create and also have empathy and feelings. And these are things that AI does not have. So given the different capabilities of human and AI, it should become clear that AI can play a great role in doing many things that a human brain is not as good at, and then the 2 brains can have a symbiotic combination. So is healthcare ready for AI? I think the answer is a resounding yes, for the simple reason that, as I mentioned, AI brain requires a huge amount of data, which is why the internet apps are currently the kings of AI today. The Googles, the Amazons, the Tencent, Alibabas of the world have collected so much data, and that data is being used to optimize business results using AI algorithms. So we can draw a corollary that whatever domain or field where digitization and data is happening, that is a great place for applying AI. So beyond internet, fintech was another, and there will be many other applications, but we are seeing something very dramatic in the healthcare domain today, which is that the digitization is happening globally and rapidly. And this includes things like wearable computing is capturing all kinds of data for us 24/7, and also health exams are using higher and higher quality radiology, MRI and CT, and also pathology is going digital, and multi-omics, genetic sequencing, IVD, are all outputting digital data. When everything's outputting digital data, you have an opportunity to build AI learning on top of that so that it can generate insight to help become a doctor assistant in health alerts, in diagnosis, in treatment, in monitoring, in long-term care. So once this data is gathered, structuralized, and we learn to use it to predict the outcome and to propose solutions, it can add a great deal to the healthcare practice today, which is more based on experiential aspects of the doctors themselves. Now, the AI can be a data-driven method, and another way to think about it is each doctor may see tens of thousands of patients in his or her lifetime, and from which he or she gathers knowledge, experience to make estimates and prescription and diagnosis on new patients. But think about when we have AI gathering data, not from tens of thousands of patients, but from tens of millions. millions or even billions of patients and data, it can get to a much higher degree of specificity and accuracy. On the right-hand side on this page is from Harvard Medical School, and it shows the many dimensions that each user's data that exists. Clearly, even if humans were able to digest and make sense from data the way that AI does, it's just infeasible. There are just way too many things for doctors to do so on a per-patient basis, on a cost-effective way to treat each patient. Doctors cannot spend many hours studying each patient coming in with all the family history as shown on the right-hand side. It's just not practical given the doctor-patient ratio today. Not to mention that human doctors are not trained to read all of this data, some of which is very overwhelming. For example, our genetic sequencing is almost 1 gigabyte of data per person. Doctors can't absorb that much data, and they also haven't had experience in reading many of the data that's coming in. So this is really the job of AI. AI can look at all this data that's being formed and become an incredible partner and assistant to the physician or to the researcher in the healthcare domain. But some people would say, hey, wait a minute, AI had an early bumpy start with healthcare. Didn't we hear about IBM Watson? Wasn't that not the greatest success? Well, IBM Watson was an ambitious effort, but I think there were two fundamental things that it could have done better. And in retrospect, had it done things differently, it might actually have a successful progress or outcome today. I think the first issue is that IBM Watson was extremely ambitious, targeting cancer and many, many types of cancer. I think it would have been better to target more constrained domain where a lot of data is available, which brings me to the second problem, which was that IBM Watson partnered with a number of top medical organizations and used their data model to train their AI models. And the problem is, at the top medical institutes, the training examples were selected purely based on teaching medical students. And in fact, the fewer the data, the better, because you want few examples to let the medical students learn to be able to draw their own conclusions and form their own mental models so they can extrapolate to new cases. But that's not how you train an AI system. As we mentioned earlier, AI systems require thousands, if not millions of exemplars. And once you have that, it will beat people by a huge amount. But because IBM Watson decided to conform to the healthcare organizations and use their limited amount of training data, in some cases mere hundreds or even less for some types of cancer, that was just not enough to train powerful models. So the lesson I think we learn here is that focus on small, single domain, fixed problems where we can have a lot of data, that will be the best way to get early success from AI in healthcare. Another area that seemed like it had a very promising start was medical imaging, the reading of MRI and CT. It certainly looks like that there were many startups and many professors who have produced radiology AI algorithms that outperform human radiologists. And many people would draw the conclusion then it's inevitable that radiologists would be replaced very quickly because AI was beating their performance. I think from a technology standpoint, that is true. And these startups often gathered a fair amount of data, so that problem that Watson had was not as serious here. The problem here is that the healthcare practice already has very fixed upstream and downstream ways of solving problems. And radiology is a well-oiled machine in which there are machines made by perhaps GE Medical, and then there were radiologists who use existing software, and then there were processes fixed, and also the budget and purchasing decisions are also fixed. So when you want to go into a steady state system program for radiology and say, I've got this wonderful lung cancer recognition algorithm I want you to insert in your process, it isn't clear that the software and the hardware will accommodate this new entrant. And it's also not clear what department will pay for it, what their incentives are. And it's also not clear that the radiologists themselves and the head of radiology department are going to be all that eager to buy something that could threaten their jobs. So these are intricate issues that weren't quite thought through, and I believe when they are thought through in the future, in fact, AI radiology will be a great application. But the lesson for us here is that we need to respect the current system of healthcare works and fit within that system and partner within that ecosystem, as opposed to think of things as revolutionary and replacing existing practices in doctors. We have to keep in mind that in the entire healthcare and medical industry, it was built very conservatively because human lives are at stake, so understandably so. So we need to respect the industry practices and the potential partnerships and try to find win-win solutions rather than creating disruptions that will end up facing a lot of problems. So in conclusion on these two issues, I want to point out is that when we think about AI in healthcare, first, we really should not just be thinking about what data do we already have, shall we just use it? If the data is used to train medical students, we'll use it for AI. That does not work. For AI to work, we need large sets of data, millions if possible, structured, well-labeled in a closed loop. Okay? The second point is that the healthcare value chain must be respected, and any AI application or implementation must fit in the value chain, leading to win-wins for participants, as opposed to challenging, threatening, or even claiming to be replacing some of the key stakeholders. That does not bode well because the stakeholders are in charge of the healthcare and medical industry. So what can be done in healthcare and AI? I'll talk about a number of areas I'm most excited about. The first one is AI and pathology. Pathology is an area where there really, in China, is particularly lacking in qualified pathologists. And yet, pathology is an area of computer vision where clearly AI can do a better job. We can see today in image recognition, in many applications, AI is beating humans in recognizing objects. In fact, computer vision was the first breakthrough where AI overwhelmingly beat people in the recognition of objects. So if AI can recognize objects for autonomous driving or autonomous retail or manufacturing visual inspection, surely AI can recognize pathology. And it's an area that takes a long time to train professionals, and there aren't enough professionals, so we can actually build solutions that can address the shortage in the market that's needed without threatening the jobs for the pathologists, at least in the short to medium term. And what needs to be done is that we need to make sure digital pathology really takes off, because today the gold standard is still using the human reading of the non-digital approach. And I think we need to make sure the digital approach starts to happen as it has in radiology. And once that happens, we already have seen results that shows a rather dramatic improvement, as we see on the bottom part of the chart, in accuracy as well as efficiency. So this is an area we're quite hopeful. The second area is AI and drug discovery. This is an area where there's no inherent issue or conflict between the healthcare industry and the AI industry. Both want to get drugs out as quickly as possible with as low cost as possible. So we have an example company that we have funded called In Silico Medicine, and they use machine learning methods to come up with, for each pathogen, possible targets, and also to generate innovative and special new drug molecules that can cure the pathogen. And the breakthroughs that have come from DeepMind AlphaFold 2 showing that protein folding can be done by AI is also tremendously helpful, because we can think of the future discovery as the following process. First, we need to fold the proteins. Second, we need to look for the right targets. Third, we need to find the proper molecules or other types of drugs that can treat it. And that AI can look at historical studies, papers, clinical trials, successes, failures, and intuit what are the most likely ones that will work out. And then the humans can take the list from AI and push further on that, and then to do experiments, and then eventually go to clinical trial. So this first part of drug discovery can be very much accelerated with higher predictability and accuracy, because it's built on past studies and results rather than individual scientists' own memory, experience, and knowledge. So it's going to be much broader. And also beyond the first phase of working with the human scientist, the second phase of doing the lab studies, the wet lab experiments can also be automated. And then the third part of aligning with clinical trial, finding the optimal patients to, in the least amount of time, determine the efficacy of a drug, can also be enhanced by AI. So altogether, if these three phases can lead to a significant reduction, let's say 75% of the cost of drug discovery, it could cut a $2 billion drug down to a much smaller amount, let's say $500 million. And that means pharmaceuticals can afford to go after more rare diseases that are currently considered untreatable. But when the cost of R&D comes down, it may actually become treatable. So we're very excited about this future where the healthcare and AI people have a values as well as interest alignment. And I think greatest progress will be made therefore. Another area is AI and multi-omics. Because multi-omics, starting from next generation sequencing and other types of sequencing, is fundamentally digital data. And the data is too large for humans to currently understand. Yet we know that this is an excellent basis on which to make precision treatment. We believe the healthcare today is more of a blockbuster drug. Make one drug and give it to everybody. It's suitable for many people, but maybe not suitable for also many people. And each individual may actually need a different type of treatment based on the person's family history, personal medical history, but also multi-omics, I think, can provide tremendous hints on how to treat people individually. This is really new territory for healthcare, and we're very excited the role that AI can play, because multi-omics is a huge amount of data, and from that data, it's hard for humans to make sense out of it. So it's a great thing for AI to work on. Another similar area is in personalized treatment in AI precision medication, and that's a very similar area, except it's applied for figuring out what are the best ways to give specific patient classification and give specific treatment plans. And again, AI can be used to look at the background of each person to determine what is suitable. Very similar to what I described for Amazon's products, Facebook's newsfeed, TikTok's video, trying to give each person what is most suitable for that individual. Another great area is medical robotics, and that is using AI in its automation and robotic role. Robotics can become much more dependable and much more precise for specific types of operations. Clearly, we need human to be in the loop because of accountability issues, because this is a new technology. But there are already specific tasks within surgery, such as laparoscopic robot, the Da Vinci robot, operated by a surgeon, but with the great help of robot working symbiotically with the surgeon. We're also seeing excellent progress in orthopedic neurosurgery, and then in the future there will be nano robots and robots applied to many aspects. And I think we will have a future in which some surgery or some significant parts of the surgery will be done fully autonomously by the robot when it's proven to be significantly better than the people, which I think is also inevitable. So So in the meantime, I think we're able to let surgeons work longer, because even older surgeons, when they have a robotic assistant, can use their experience and wisdom and continue to work. And in the longer term, I think autonomous robots can actually take over many of the tasks. So this is another exciting area. AI and longevity is a brand new area. Sometimes applying AI to an existing area like pathology, radiology, and surgery may be a bit challenging, because in some sense we're saying, hey, maybe AI can do a better job than the existing doctors. So there will be some natural resistance to AI. But in the area that are brand new, like longevity, there are very few longevity doctors. No doctor is going to be saying, hey, AI is coming to eat my lunch. So AI can be used in many ways. I think one example in a company that we also funded, that it uses AI to identify attributes of aging, to understand how people are aging, and then use AI to find an optimal strategy to slow down aging, and even in some cases reverse the steps of biological decline. So one could imagine using a large machine learning algorithm that can learn each person's real age as opposed to what their blood and other things indicate their actual physical health-wise age to be. And then use AI to find the gap between the two, saying, hey, the person is 60, but the body looks like 70. What can we do to make the body more like 60? Or if the body looks like 60, what can we do to make it more like 50? What are the steps, including exercise, nutrients, and regimen and medicine and anti-aging medicine can contribute the most. And large amounts of data can again teach the AI to figure out what are the best ways to make someone appear younger, and what's more, younger and healthier. So we're very excited about this area as well. So going forward, I think in the next 10 years, we really see huge opportunities in medical imaging and pathology, in drug discovery, in multi-omics, diagnostic AI, in personalized treatment, and in robotic surgery. I think in order for this vision to become realizable, we really need to trust the AI experts, that we need massive structured amount of data that can make the AI brain really become smart. And at the same time, we need to respect the ecosystem in the commercialization of AI technologies to make sure that it fits within the current construct of the healthcare ecosystem, and that it leads to a win-win with the professionals and companies involved in healthcare. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope we can co-invent the future of AI in healthcare together.
Next, let's welcome Dr. Jing-Tan Su. Dr. Su is the Technical Symposium Committee Chair, and he'll share with us what has been presented.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jing-Tan Su, Technical Symposium Committee Chair of CESASC. I joined CESASC last year, and I'm very happy to serve in CESASC because I believe I can contribute to spreading the knowledge of science and technology in the Chinese American population. And I believe knowledge is the power. Knowledge not only change the fate of the society, but also the fate of the individuals. For the technical symposium this year, I chose several device topics which might change our life in near future. The selected topics include new energy, robotics, environment, brain-machine interface, quantum science, AI, and so on. I'm so happy that Drs. Wang Yun, Wu Wei, and Abhishek Singh accepted the invitation and gave their fantastic presentation this afternoon. Thanks again to them for sharing their fantastic presentation. Due to the travel and COVID, multiple professors said that they cannot present this year, but they promise that they will present in future. So in next year, we can expect more interesting, professional, and wonderful speeches about science and technology topic, which might change our life in near and far future. Finally, I would like to say thank you to all the people I met through CESAC. From them, I can see that the positive attitude to the knowledge and to the life, the critical thinking, and the right knowledge really change the fate of the individuals. That's all. Thank you. Have a nice dinner and have a great evening.
Now let's welcome Dr. Jia Chen Zhang, the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Committee Chair, about what has been presented in the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Forum this afternoon. Dr. Zhang.
Good evening, everyone. It's amazing that we can finally meet in person to celebrate CESAC's 60th birthday. And again, my name is Jia Chen, and in addition to my role as the MC today, I'm chairing the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Committee at CESAC. Our committee hosts events to help Chinese Americans start up their businesses in the U.S., translate their technologies into products, and connect entrepreneurs with investors and professionals. I know it's a tough year for most people, including entrepreneurs, given the pessimistic economic forecast and uncertainties with the pandemic. But we can support each other to overcome these challenges and thrive in these difficult times. And that's why we hosted the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Forum this afternoon. We invited seasoned entrepreneurs and investors, Mr. Zhang Shen, the founder and Sandstone Management, and Mr. Zhen Wang, CEO of Technology Credit and co-founder of Cheese, to discuss the trends in the startup ecosystem in Southern California and to give advice for entrepreneurs and investors. We also had Ms. Rui Su, CEO of Nova Access, Mr. Yu Ma, Director of Clinical Research and Data Science at Cognitive Leap, to discuss the innovations and entrepreneurship in healthcare industry, particularly the opportunities and challenges in the post-pandemic era. They provided us a lot of insights and advice for entrepreneurs and investors, and I was really inspired by their panel discussions. And even if you are not running a business, I think we are all entrepreneurs in a way or another. Essentially, we're running our own companies with the investments from our parents, friends, and people who trust us. So I think what we learned from the panel discussions today also applies to our day-to-day lives, or everyone's life, and career development. For example, the importance of having a long-term vision and not just focus on the short-term profits, and also the importance of being brave and patient. So I hope we can pass along these inspirations in the CESAC community, and many thanks to our speakers again. So Ms. Su and Mr. Jack Chen, the CEO of Cognitive Leap, are here with us tonight. So if you're interested in the healthcare industry, feel free to exchange ideas with them, especially ideas related to medical device. Mr. Shen and Mr. Wang, they couldn't be here with us tonight, but if you're an entrepreneur, I'd be more than happy to connect you with them. Mr. Shen's incubator integrates resources from universities, governments, and industries, and Mr. Wang's company provides convenient R&D tax return service and will help your company save operational costs. So if you have already started up your businesses, or if you're interested in innovations and investments, if you would like to be part of the vibrant Southern California startup ecosystem, please contact me, and I'll add you to our WeChat group, and we can collaborate on hosting events, or we can invite you to share your stories at our events. So with that, thank you for your support for CESAC, and good luck with your future endeavors. Thanks to all the volunteers and every one of you. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now have the second keynote speech delivered in person. So let's put our hands together for Dr. Yu Rong, who will introduce our next speaker, Dr. Yi Tang Zhang.
Thank you. Standing. Thank you, Shanli. So it's my honor to introduce our next keynote speaker, Professor Zhang Yitang. Zhang Yitang is a professor at Department of Mathematics at the UC Santa Barbara. He received his bachelor's and master's from Peking University and a PhD from Purdue University. Dr. Zhang is the recipient of a MacArthur Fellows and Ralph Schack Prize and the Frank Nansen Cole Prize. Most importantly, 2019, he received a CESASC Achievement Award. This is a big award. Yeah, yes. Why is a big award? Because he's along with the other historical recipient, a Nobel laureate, like Franklin Young, like Li Chengdao Li, Li Jingdao, Yang Zhenning, and Samuel Ting, Ding Zhaozhong, Yuan Zhe Li, Li Yuanzhe, and Steve Chu, Zhu Liwen. I personally first time learned about Professor Zhang from an article published in the New Yorkers, where I learned Professor Zhang has no phone books because he memorized all of his friends' phone numbers in his mind. So right now, let's please come together to welcome Professor Zhang to give a speech.
Thank you. Every time I come here, come to the conferences like this, I felt very happy because I could meet many friends. And today, but it is very interesting. Just half 1 hour ago, I met some new friends here. These friends came from Peking University, and now they are just a PhD student at Caltech. At Caltech. Then I said, "Oh, it's good. You are candidates for the Nobel Prize." Yeah, thank you. This recall me something happened more than 40 years ago when I just was an undergraduate student at Peking University. That time, the major in mathematics students, we talk so much, we concentrated on the fields matter. And of course, in the physics major, or chemistry major, the students were concentrated on the Nobel Prize. Yeah, I said that this is true. We should be confident. We should be able to do the good, to get great achievement in science. So since that time, it is more than 40 years ago in the past. And also, I have consistent on my idea. I believe that I can do something very good, the good achievement in mathematics. And eventually, after many years, I was successful. And I like to tell this one, just tell to To my friends in this room right now, in particular, for the young friends, we should be. You should be confident yourselves. You can also do something very good. You can achieve a lot of things in the mathematics because you are young. But for other friends, maybe it's not young, something like this. Maybe like my age, I'm already 67 years old right now. But still, we should keep our confidence. Do not be bothered about the age. Oh, I'm too old, I cannot do something. No. This, I believe, is not true. So one thing in the ancient China, it is said the age of 70 is too old. But right now, 70 is not too old. Just believe we are also young. We can do it. We still have a chance. Just keep doing. And I remember the famous British mathematician Michael Atiyah. When he was 85 years old, he one talk for the 85 years old, the birthday of his friends, but they were also very old. He just said, at least in my age, we don't worry about the PhD degree. We don't worry about the job. We can concentrate on lots of things. Just keep going. So this is what I like to say. Also, I myself will do the same way. Forget about my age. Actually, I used to forget my age, how old I am. But I believe that just if you keep working on the what you love and make a great concentration, you will have many chances to be successful. Okay, this is what I like to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Zhang. That was a very inspiring speech, especially for students who are currently pursuing their academic dreams. Thank you. CESASC has actually been giving out scholarships to Chinese American students every year since 1985. And this year, we are giving out CESASC scholarships, Lisa Lu scholarships, JHJ prizes, CESASC STEAM Essay Contest Awards, and Zhen Daihe scholarships. Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Xu Dongjia, the Scholarship Committee Chair of CESASC, to announce the awardees of CESASC scholarships and Lisa Lu scholarships. Welcome.
Good night. Have you have a fun for your dinner? Good. My name is Xu Dongjia. I'm the chair of the Scholarship Committee. It is my honor to introduce you the 2022 CESASC General and also Lisa Lu scholarships recipients. For the CESASC General Scholarship, we have Ms. Kayla Wu Swanson. Can you come here? Yeah, line up over there. Yeah, thank you. Over there. Yeah. Tyler. Okay. Yeah, her name is Tyler Yu Swanson. The second one is Mr. Yongxiang Su. Come here. The next one is Wei Zhong Yan. Congratulations. Next one is Miss Wei Yue Xia. Nice to meet you. Next one will be Miss Fan Zhao. Congratulations. Next one will be Fan Yang. Congratulations. The next one will be Kensley Wu. Come in. Nice to meet you. Next one will be Han Xiang Wu. Thank you. Yeah, congratulations. The one for Lisa Lu's Foundation Scholarship is Jia Wen Han. Come in. Congratulations. Yeah. I have also committee members with me, so we will have a group picture together. Thank you. Congratulations, all of the recipients. Congratulations one more time. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the CESASC Scholarship Awards and Lisa Lu Scholarship Awardees. And thanks to our committee chair, Professor Jia, and every member of our scholarship committee. So next, let's welcome Dr. Jonathan Jiang, the principal scientist at JPL, to announce the awardees of the CESASC STEAM SC Contest and JHJ prizes. Dr. Jiang has hosted many impressive STEM seminars at CESASC and inspired many people's interest in science and technology. And he generously donated the 2 prizes to be awarded. Welcome, Jonathan.
All right, thank you very much. And I remember my father told me, and when my father was 6 years old, okay, he lived in a house nearby his house at a train station. My father's father, my grandfather, one day told him, hey, and when you grown up, I think they are going to be an airplane station. You go to airplane station, okay, just like you go to the train station, you can go to any place in the country within a day. You go to the airplane station, you can take airplane to go to any country on the globe within a day. So my father was amazed. So he told me this when I was small, and I think about this. I'm going to tell my student, okay, when you're grown up, there's going to be a spaceship station. If you go to the spaceship station, you can go to any planet in the solar system within a year. Okay, the topic of 2022 STEM essay competition is innovative design for long-term human settlement into the solar system. This essay contest asks students to lay out innovative design or blueprint of long-term human settlement onto the solar system bodies based on current available technology. The target solar system bodies could include the Moon, the Mars, asteroids, or the moons of a Jovian system. The winners are carefully chosen by the CESASC selection committee through a selective review process. Now let's welcome CESASC committee member Dr. Li Ping Yan to announce the winners.
Thank you. The winners are, the winner for the first place is Mr. Pan Yun Tian, grade 10th. and Lyndon Roosevelt High School, Eastville, California. His essay title is The Lead Up to 21st Century Space Age. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The winner for the second place is Miss Junze Zhang, grade 10 at the Bonita High School, Laverne, California. Her title of essay is International Organization System for Settlement in the Solar System. Welcome, Junze. Oh, she's not on site. The winner for the third place is Miss Helen Liu, Liu Zixuan, grade 9 at the School Ready High School, Dallas, Texas. Her essay title is The Future of Space Cultivation, Infinity Part. Yes， 那就给他。As you know, CESASC also give a special prize, which is called the Jonathan Hong Jiang JHJ Prize for Fundamental Science, award annually to the most compelling young candidates who have demonstrated a commitment to fundamental scientific inquiry through their achievement, witnessed by published research in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. The JHJ Prize is an honor reserved only for our highly accomplished young scientists at the age 26 or younger who have dedicated their talent to science. The winners are individually chosen by our distinguished CESASC committee members through a selective review process. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Jonathan Hongtao Jiang to announce the winner of this year. Jonathan.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. The 2022 Physics Prize is awarded to Yang Cheng Luo, California Institute of Technology, for discovery of an active methane emission source in Gala crater on Mars, which can effectively guide Curiosity rover to find its way to the methane sources where it could possibly find evidence of Martian life. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. 2022 Physics Prize is awarded to Ying Wang, University of Southern California, for her innovative work that paved the way for effective application in analyzing complex perovskite mineral structures.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the essay contest winners and the winners of the JG Prize for Fundamental Science. Congratulations. And next, let's welcome Mr. Jian Wei Huang, Legal Counsel of Cultural Foundation of Zheng Daihe Foundation, USA, to announce the recipients of the Zheng Daihe Scholarship. Welcome.
My name is Jian Wei Huang. I'm the legal counsel of Culture Foundation Zheng Daihe. My wife is He Xingyan. She's the founder of the foundation. And she's the fourth generation of Zheng Daihe. Usually she's on a stage talk. I'm down there listening. Her reason is she's from capital Beijing, and I'm from Shanghai, Magic City. She's the capital leading the magic, so-called 首都领导魔都. I'm here today. It's magic. I'm so honored to representing the foundation and the partner to the CESASC to present this He Zheng Dai Scholarship. We hope this scholarship will encourage the young people to continue advocating Chinese culture to the world. Special thank you to the chair of the board, Charlie Liu, President Bruce Liu. Now, I will invite Mr. Liu Bing, our senior consultant of the foundation, to present 2022 Zheng Daihe Scholarship. Mr. Liu Bing is a very famous Chinese culture ambassador. He's 90 years old, and he looks so energized. So I would say he's always going. Let's give him a round of applause. Sharon, congratulations. I have an old slogan of my time to share with you. Because study hard, make progress every day.
The next keynote speech will be delivered by Dr. Yang Chai. Let's welcome Dr. Wensheng Zhou, our former president, to make the introduction of our speaker. Dr. Zhou.
Okay. Hello, it's my honor to introduce Professor Yang Chai here. Dr. Yang Chai is a university professor and the George and Mary Noble Chair in Cranial Biology at the University of Southern California. He serves as the director of the Center for Craniofacial Molecular Biology and the associate dean of research at the Herman Ostrow School of Dentistry of USA. Dr. Chai earned a DMD degree from Peking University, School of Stomatology, as well as DDS, and a PhD in craniofacial biology from the University of Southern California. He is most noted for his research on craniofacial development and birth defects, which has transformed the field and led to the successful rescue of cleft palate in mouse embryo. He also studies stem cells and is currently using innovative 3D printed scaffolds seeded with stem cells to regenerate tissue for patients who have lost bone due to trauma, congenital defects, or disease. Dr. Chai is a member of the National Academy of Medicine. He is an elected member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Chai also has authored more than 160 scientific papers and numerous books chapters, and recently edited the book on craniofacial development. Dr. Chai has been continuously funded by the National Institute of Health for more than 25 years. His work has earned him multiple awards, including the NIH Merit Award and the 2011 IADR Distinguished Scientist Award. Let's welcome him. Yeah. 谢谢师兄。
Good evening. This is working, right? All right. Good evening. I'm really delighted to have this opportunity to share some of our work with all of you. I also wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate all the scholarship winners and the future of our science and technology. Really, congratulations. So I'm a professor at USC. Oh, this is moving by itself. Okay. So what I'm going to do tonight, just to share with you what kind of research we have been doing at USC. So I did my training in oromaxillofacial surgery at Peking University, and then came to the US to do my PhD and clinical training. So the title of my talk today is called Enhancing Smiles, Changing Lives, Stem Cells in Tissue Regeneration and Disease. So as we all know, our face is our identity. We largely recognize each other based on our facial appearance. And then when there is facial malformation, like what you see here, patients with cleft lip and cleft palate, or skull deformities, these defects really have a significant impact on the facial appearance of these patients. And currently, other than surgery, there's really not that much of a good treatment for these patients that will allow to regenerate enough tissue to repair these defects. So tonight, within the next 20 minutes, what I'm going to tell you are two human diseases that we're working on. One is cleft palate. The other one, the disease called cranial synostosis, which is a premature fusion of the cranial suture, and you can see these skull deformities. And both these diseases affect young kids as they are born. So like a cleft palate, what you see here, this is one of the most common congenital birth defects, and the treatment basically is to do surgery and repair this defect. So what we have learned over the years is basically there's a genetic component and there's also an environmental factor that can cause this type of a malformation. And here, what you are looking at is a father and a daughter. Both are affected with cleft palate. So clearly, there's a genetic component. Environmentally, we know smoking and indoor cooking, alcohol consumption can also cause cleft lip and cleft palate. So what do we know about the human genome? In 2001, the Human Genome Project was completed. So at that time, we learned the blueprint of our human genome that helps to make us uniquely as human beings. And this kind of knowledge has really helped us quite a bit about the disease diagnosis and also certain type of preventive care. We all know Angelina Jolie. We all know there's a gene called a BRCA1. When that gene, if people can just lower their voice a little bit. I know you are all very excited about seeing your friends, but just, since we're talking, right? And so yeah, I won't take too long. So the BRCA1 gene is one of the sort of the poster genes that people have learned. If you have this mutation, then it's very likely the patient will get ovarian cancer or breast cancer. And then in her case, Angelina Jolie, through a genetic screening, and she knew she carried this mutation. So she had her ovary removed, and also she had a mastectomy. So this is all preventive care, right? Because she didn't want her kids to lose her, like, she lost her mother to this devastating disease. So the point here is the Human Genome Project, because we have learned so much about the human gene and also the mutation can cause this disease. So we really have benefited from this study. Many of you are young scholars, so you have the inspiration to learn about human genome, and then hopefully one day that can help to treat certain disease. So in the case of a cleft palate, this is a very, okay. So what we have learned, to make a long story short, that TGF-beta mutation is responsible, can cause a human cleft palate. So what we have done is to make the same mutation in the animal model so we can create a transgenic mouse model with the same cleft palate as what you would see in patients. So now what you have learned is basically, this gene mutation not only has been associated with cleft palate, but also, in the animal model that you have now you can study what is the cellular and molecular mechanism, right? So that's exactly what we have done. And using this mouse model, and then we analyzed what are sort of the downstream events that have been affected by having this TGF-beta mutation. So the TGF-beta mutation is basically with the TGF-beta receptor mutation, what we found is the TGF-beta 2 ligand is elevated in this mutant animal model. With that information, so what the next thing we did is, because I told you if you mutate this gene in the mouse model, you get a cleft palate. But by reducing, because in this model we saw an elevated TGF-beta 2 expression, just by reducing this TGF-beta 2, we were able to completely rescue the cleft palate in the animal model. So what that shows is that you know, someday maybe we can use a small molecule that we can try to provide some in utero treatment for patients that may give birth to a kid with cleft. So this type of treatment provides some sort of a hope for patients with a cleft palate. The next short story, I won't take long, is a condition called craniosynostosis. In Chinese, it's called 颅凤早闭. So these babies, when they were born, they have, you know, on the skull, we have these fibrous joints called the sutures. When these sutures fuse prematurely, what you see here, everybody can recognize these babies, they all have abnormal skull shape, right? But what you don't know is that these abnormal skull shape also affects brain development. So these patients not only have skull deformity, but they also have learning disability and neurocognitive defects. Based on the human study and also animal models, what we have learned, certain gene mutation, like FGF receptor TWIS1, when that's mutated, that can cause craniosynostosis. Environmental factors, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. This is an antidepressant drug. In this country, many pregnant women take antidepressant drugs because of a variety of reasons. And then studies have shown if you use this drug, 10 to 20% of the patients have a higher incidence of the babies developing craniosynostosis. For us, what we wanted to do is to see how the genetic mutation and then the environmental factor may cause this craniosynostosis, but more importantly, how we can provide a better treatment for these patients. So currently, when someone has this defect, you know, they send their kids to the craniofacial surgeons at CHLA, where we do a lot of our clinical studies. When these patients come in, these are newborn babies within the first year of their life. So they undergo a surgery, so they cut off the skull bone, and then they leave a gap in order to accommodate the postnatal brain growth. As you know, babies, their brain grow after birth quite a bit. So this is a very invasive procedure. And kids, when after surgery, you know, they have to wear a helmet in order to protect their brain. And also during the surgery, they lose a lot of blood. So a few years ago, we made a discovery that within these skull bone sutures, there are these stem cells that they move and then support the skull bone growth. And if you lose these stem cells prematurely, basically the skull bone will fuse, and then that will limit the skull growth. So we wanted to, based on that information, we wanted to ask the question whether a premature, if you can just, there are probably hundreds of you. I can't over talk of all the noise that you are making.
If everyone please be silent for a while as we focus on the speaker's talk, that would be very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Just keep it down a little bit, please.
Thank you, yeah.
So what we have learned is if you lose these stem cells prematurely, and then all these sutures will fuse in the mouse skull. So the question now is, whether this is the same case with these patients that they have craniosynostosis, this 颅缝早闭 defect. So what we have done, we analyzed both the animal study and also some of the patient samples that we learned. A lot of these patients, they lose these stem cells and then the sutures fuse. So as I mentioned earlier, some of these severe cases, because of the premature fusion, these patients also have neurocognitive, social behavioral, and then motor defects. So what we have done is we have basically analyzed the animal model that also have craniosynostosis, and we discovered when they have the same genetic mutation and they develop craniosynostosis, not only they have elevated intracranial pressure, but they also have problem recognizing new objects or socializing with new partners in this social ability behavioral study. So as I told you earlier, currently the only treatment for these patients is surgery and then creating this large gap on the skull bone. So what we wanted to do is to take the stem cell approach, combining it with a biodegradable scaffold so we can regenerate a suture for these patients in the future. And then, of course, we have to do that on the animal model first. So what we have done here is to take the stem cells and then use the animal model to regenerate a suture. So I wouldn't be here to tell you this if this was not successful. So with the help of some engineering friends, and then we were able to regenerate a new cranial suture in the animal model using the stem cells. And then using this approach, if you can just look at the screen here, in the control group, if we don't do anything, or we only add the material, all the bones will grow back. But when we added the stem cells, and then along with the biodegradable scaffold, we were able to regenerate a new biological suture. And here you can see in the histology what a new regenerated suture looks like. Because we were able to do that in the animal model with craniosynostosis, then we went on and measured how this has affected the skull bone growth after surgery. The red wire frame represents the one with craniosynostosis, the defect one, and then the blue is the normal. As you can see, with the suture regeneration, we were able to restore the skull shape. So this only, with just a small suture regeneration, not only we were able to restore the skull shape, but also, as you can see in the regenerated suture sample, the brain bounced back to a size that's comparable to the control. Versus the one in the middle with cranial synostosis, the brain stayed small. And then, with this regeneration, we were able to show not only, the suture was regenerated, but also that improved the learning outcome of these animals with a regenerated suture. So this paper was published last year in the journal Cell, and this really basically shows that how skull deformity may also affect the brain development. But it gives hope to patients that in the future, instead of doing this very invasive surgery, that we can regenerate a suture that will be able to grow with the skull and then accommodate the future growth of the brain. And then so you can do this for these patients who have been affected by this very devastating disease. So as I mentioned earlier, I work at USC. I'm part of the stem cell program in regenerative medicine. I think, regenerative medicine is really the future for us, right? So we think about, from newborn all the way to elderly. As we age, people are affected by different type of disease. And these are the areas where stem cells have demonstrated that can help to provide treatment for patients. Whether it's regenerate the skin tissue, or regenerate part of cartilage, or regenerate the cranial suture, or regenerate some other parts of the body. But collectively, all these different diseases, eventually, that will have some new tools that will help the scientists and the physicians working together to create a better future. So when, all of us get more mature, when you enter your age of 70s, 80s, or 90s, you're going to be able to dance every day, get on all the favorite tours that you want to take, so you can enjoy a very healthy living with the regenerative medicine. So I think that's my last slide. So this is my research group at USC. I really wanted to highlight the support we received from NIH over the past 20-some years, and then also the work done by very talented postdoc. The suture regeneration was done by Meng Fei, and then with all these other wonderful support, and then you are welcome to come visit us, and thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Chai, for your innovative research on stem cells and regenerative medicine that will change all our lives. Thank you. And we will now present the CESASC Awards for 2022. This year's award committee chair, Dr. Ping Zhou, could not make it here tonight, but we will have Dr. Hui Su to host the award presentation. Dr. Su is the principal scientist at JPL at CESAC's 2018 president. Let's welcome Dr. Su to announce our 2020 CESAC Award recipients.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So every year, CESAC bestows achievement awards to recognize individuals with outstanding achievement in science and engineering fields. This year, we are especially honored to select two CESAC awards recipients. The first achievement award goes to Dr. Kai-Fu Lee. Dr. Li is the chairman and CEO of Sinovation Ventures and president of Sinovation Ventures Artificial Intelligence Institute. Prior to founding Sinovation, Dr. Li was the president of Google China and the senior executive at Microsoft, STI, and Apple. He was the founder of Microsoft Research Asia, which was named the hottest technology lab by MIT Technology Review. Dr. Li received his bachelor degree in computer science from Columbia University and a PhD from Carnegie Mellon University. He is the co-chair of Artificial Intelligence Council for World Economic Forum Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution and a fellow of IEEE Times 100 in 2013 and many other accolades. He developed the world's first large vocabulary, speaker-independent continuous speech recognition system and has many patents and publications, including 2 books on AI. He has over 50 million followers on social medias. Due to the COVID condition in China, Dr. Li couldn't join us in person tonight. Mr. Ray Han, a Yale, Stanford, and Harvard alumnus and a long-term friend of CESASC, will represent Dr. Li to accept the reward. Please welcome Dr. Ray Han to the stage, and CESASC President Bruce Liu and Charlie Lu present the award.
I'd like to say thank you on behalf of Dr. Kai-Fu Lee to Dr. Su Hui and Dr. Bruce Liu. I just love these organizations. I met Kai-Fu at a networking event with Columbia and Yale had a brunch. So keep coming to these events. You'll meet a lot of really important people like Hui Su and Bruce Liu. Very worth it. I'd like to say when I met Kai-Fu, he had just left Microsoft Research. He founded Microsoft Research China, and that's a very hot research lab. Everyone from Tsinghua and Beidang wants to go there. And then he left for Google. And because he left for Google, Bill Gates sued Kai-Fu Lee. Says you cannot work for Google. You're sharing the IP that you developed at Microsoft. So there was a big controversy at that time, and Kai-Fu was president of Google China too. So he's got Microsoft, Google, Apple. He's a wonderful person. He told me right now AI is, America is still ahead, but China is coming on very strong. Let me give you just 7 leadership lessons very quickly that I learned from Dr. Lee. One is not only is IQ important, but EQ is also important. You can be really smart with books, but you have to get out there and relate it to people to be effective. Number 2, communication is very important. You see, sometimes a CEO is actually a bachelor's degree in marketing because he could sell things. He could sell the company. And you see with Dr. Lee, he could sell things and he could talk not only in English but in Chinese too. And he could do the technical work. Number 3, technology is very important, but you actually do not need a PhD. He has some of his brightest people are MBAs, and so he obviously if you can do it, you should do it, but you don't necessarily need it. Hurry up.
We can keep the rest for.
Okay. Just let me say one more thing. Teach your kids Chinese, okay? Because Kai-Fu says everyone needs to know Chinese and English. Okay.
for connecting us with Dr. Lee and also representing Dr. Lee tonight. Next, I'm very honored to introduce another CESAC Achievement Award recipient, Dr. Yang Chai. Dr. Chai is a professor and the George Mary Lou Boone Chair in Craniofacial Biology and the USC. He serves as the director of the Center for Craniofacial Molecular Biology and Associate Dean of Research and the School of Dentistry and USC. Dr. Chai received a Doctor of Medicine degree in dentistry from Peking University and a Doctor of Dental Surgery and a PhD in Craniofacial Biology from USC. He transformed the field of craniofacial biology and made significant discoveries in craniofacial development, birth defect, and stem cell-mediated craniofacial tissue regeneration. Dr. Chai is a member of the National Academy of Medicine and a member of American Academy of Arts and Science. He received many awards, including the NSF Merit Award and the 2011 International Association of Dental Research Distinguished Scientist Award. Let's welcome Dr. Chai to stage.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Really, I'm deeply honored and just really delighted to have this opportunity to share this evening with you. And there are so many young stars here and they're receiving scholarship. These are our future. And then all of you who have really helped this organization and then supporting these young scientists grow as they venture into science and technology. Thank you very much for this really great honor, and I'm very grateful for all your support.
Okay, next we have our honored guest, Congresswoman Judy Chu, so we'll start the board installation.
Next page, please. Next page. Next. Next. Yes. All the new board members for 2020-2023, please come on stage.
Thank you, Charlie.
All the new board members, officers and board members together.
Well, I'm Congressmember Judy Chu, and I'm so proud to be swearing in the 2022 to 2023 CESAC Board of Directors. And I am so honored to be here at your 60th year of service. You're being in your 60th year, you are one of the longest standing professional groups of your kind. And so I congratulate you on this great achievement. And so, now raise your right hand, please. I state your name. Do hereby solemnly swear that I will serve the board of CESAC for the upcoming term, I will uphold the bylaws of CESAC and serve this professional organization to the best of my ability and experience, without any reservations whatsoever. This I sincerely pledge. Congratulations. Best of luck on success in your 60th year. Hello? Well, how wonderful it is to swear in the 2022-2023 Board of Directors for CESAC. And I especially want to thank your chairman, Dr. Charlie Liu, President Dr. Bruce Liu, and your entire leadership team for putting together this incredible event. Let me commend you for your amazing achievements. You've had seminars on cutting-edge topics such as fuel cells for vehicles and new computing platforms for mobile robotics, as well as seminars on entrepreneurship and innovation. You continue to provide scholarships for over a dozen well-deserving college and graduate students studying STEM or the arts, and you serve middle and high school students who are winners in your popular essay contest. I also want to tell all of you that I've been leading the fight in Washington, D.C. against the racial profiling of Chinese American scientists and researchers. This grew to a very alarming level when President Trump started a program called the China Initiative. I want to tell you all, this is a very serious thing, because it could target any of you, which is the FBI can come knocking on your door and arrest you just because they are suspicious that you may be spying for China. And in fact, that was what they were doing to many people around the country that were Chinese American. Just having ties with family members in China was enough to be under suspicion. In fact, the zeal to go after Chinese American scientists and researchers too often meant bringing a case without sufficient grounds, something that ruined the life of Dr. An Minghu. He was the first case to be brought under trial under the China Initiative, only for this case to be dismissed when the FBI admitted to fabricating evidence. And in fact, over 3 years, there were 150 defendants, Chinese Americans, who were accused of these false accusations, and in all that time, they only secured one single conviction. That is why we, the Congressional Asian Pacific Caucus, met with Attorney General Merrick Garland and the other Department of Justice, and we pressed him to end the China Initiative. Yes. Since these cases did not turn up evidence of espionage, The government instead fell back, in fact, on arresting scientists based on missing information on their paperwork for their federal grants. And that was really really bad. And that is why we worked with the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy to provide uniformity on the federal grant application process so they could no longer do that. Well, I have to tell you something very, very important, and that is just a few months ago in February, the Department of Justice heard our call and ended the China Initiative. This is a major step forward. We will continue to monitor its implementation, but I want to assure all of you that I will continue to watch out for and advocate for the civil rights of Chinese American scientists and researchers. In the meanwhile, I want to thank you for all the work that you've done these last 2 years. Congratulations to each of you. Thank you for all the great work you do, and I would like to present certificates of commendation from the Congress to Chairman Dr. Charlie Liu, President Dr. Bruce Liu, and President-elect Chen-Shi Gua.
Next, we'll announce some special award this year. We'll honor a few distinguished colleagues and partners for their outstanding service and contribution to CESAC. Let's welcome CESAC President-elect Mr. Chen-Shi Gua to introduce the CESAC Henry Chi Service Award.
Thank you. The 2022 CESAC Henry Chi Service Award goes to Dr. Liping Yan. Dr. Yan is a technical specialist in the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. He received a bachelor and master degree in civil engineering from the Southwest Jiao Tong University in China, and master and doctor of engineering from California Institute of Technology. And he also got a PhD from USC. He managed many award-winning civil engineering projects as a consultant. Dr. Yin has been an active participant in community service, public welfare, and STEM activities. He served as the president of Caltech C and the president of Jiao Tong University Alumni Association in Southern California. On March 28, 1987, Dr. Yan attended the CESAC Technical Symposium for the first time and has participated in CESAC's activities every year for 35 years. He served as a vice president for 4 times and was elected as president in 2013 and board chair in 2014. He is a member of the CESAC Honorary Advisory Board. Dr. Yan served as chair or co-chair of Technical Symposium multiple times and has been involved in editing CESAC Convention Journal for over 20 years, including as editor-in-chief for the CESAC 50th and 60th anniversary special edition journals. Dr. Yan has made tremendous contributions to CESAC. His dedication and service are undoubtedly deserving the CESAC Henry Chi Service Award. Please welcome Dr. Liping Yan to the stage.
Thank you, Chen Xi. It's my great honor to receive this special award, which is named after CESAC founding father, Mr. Henry Wang Xiangqi, an extraordinary role model of service to me. Serving is a blessing. I'm grateful to CESAC for providing me such a wonderful platform to serve our community of Chinese American engineers and scientists. I want to express my deep appreciation to all the people who guided me or supported me in this unforgettable journey serving at the CESAC. This award is also belongs to them. Thank you. Thank CESAC.
Hello. Congratulations to Li Ping. Thanks for his service in so many years to CESAC. Next, let's welcome former president of CESAC, Dr. Dan Kai Liu, to introduce the CESAC Appreciation Award.
Thank you, Shu Hui. Good evening, everyone. This year, the CESAC 2022 Appreciation Award goes to my best friend, Mr. Mengwei Sido. Hey! Mr. Sido is a senior manager of Raytheon Technologies. He received a bachelor degree in economics from UCLA and an executive MBA degree from Loyola Marymount University, LMU, in Los Angeles. He joined the CESAC in 2004, 18 years ago, and is a lifetime member of CESAC. He has served CESAC in numerous capability and positions, including the convention chair, technical symposium, and many other things. However, Mengwei is the best known as the CESAC treasurer. Since he held that capacity for the past 10 years, not only 10 years, it's a consecutive 10 years. That's just amazing. But of course, the most important, and he was my treasurer during my presidency, which is the most important to me. Now, Mengwei serves as an assistant treasurer of the CESAC Scholar Foundation. We are lucky and very grateful for Mengwei's hard work and the service to CESAC. Please join me in welcoming CESAC 2022 Appreciation Award recipient and my friend, Mr. Mengwei Sido. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dan Kai. I want to thank CESAC for this recognition. It means the world to me. I first joined CESAC back in 2004. I've never, it has a special place in my heart. And in fact, I still want to continue to contribute to CESAC as the assistant treasurer for CESAC Scholarship Foundation. I want to make sure
we continue to give awards and scholarships to all deserving students so that they can make a positive impact to our community. Thank you.
Congratulations to Manwei for his many years of hard work and contribution to CESAC. Last but not the least, let's welcome CESAC President Bruce Liu to introduce the CESAC Outstanding Partner Award.
The first ever CESAC Outstanding Partner Award goes to CESAC Scholarship Foundation. CESAC SF was founded in 1984. She was the younger sister of CESAC, but she has much more money. And she has been taking good care of money for almost 40 years. CESAC and the CESAC Scholarship Foundation have financially supported several hundreds of young scientists, engineers, and artists. Many of them went on to become very successful leaders in their field, such as Dr. Linda Liao, the chair of Department of Neurosurgery at UCLA. Now, our very own Mr. Shan Li, chair of CESAC SF. Congratulations.
Thank you, and thanks to CESAC for this award. Okay, this award symbolizes the seamless cooperation between the two organizations for the last 37 years, and also for many years to come. Thank you.
So CESAC Scholarship Foundation is our partner, is our sister. So I have my best wishes for the long-term and fruitful partnership between CESAC and CESAC Scholarship Foundation. So this concludes our award program. I'll give the podium back to our MCs.
A couple of reminders here. As you leave the banquet tonight, would you please leave your name tag at the door? We would like to recycle them for future use. Secondly, on each table there is an envelope. We hope that you could generously donate to the Scholarship Foundation. And thank you for your support for so many years. Now we can relax and enjoy a piece of erhu music. And Let's welcome Dr. Jason Wan. And also we need to this music piece is titled Horse Racing. Dr. Wen, please.你们试一下。
我要不自己说吧？您说还是我说？
Now we will have the outgoing president and the incoming president and hand over the gavel. Now let's welcome the new president, Mr. Chen Xi-kuo, to hear what he has to plan for us for next year.
Thank you, Shan. Thank you, Bruce. Dear CESAC members and friends, thank you for joining us at this grand celebration of the 60th Annual Convention of CESAC. My name is Chen Xi-kuo, and I'm truly honored to be the CESAC president of the term 2022 to 2023. Thank you. Over the past 60 years, CESAC has been known for its support of the Chinese American engineers and scientists community. We invite distinguished leaders, speakers, and awardees to our annual conventions. We host technical seminars and business forums for people with different backgrounds to share their insights with each other. And we issue official statements when we believe our fellow Chinese engineers, scientists, and scholars are charged with false accusations and deserve fair treatment. I would like to thank our former presidents and leadership teams for their effort in serving the Chinese American community and protecting our interests and rights through organizational effort. Thank you. Over the past 4 decades, CESAC has also provided hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarship to young Chinese Americans, assisting them in pursuit of their dreams. In preparation of the Annual Convention Journal this year, I personally reached out to the scholarship recipients from year 1984 to 2019 myself. I'm happy to report to you that many of our scholarships recipients have made tremendous achievements in their fields, from deans and professors in universities to seasoned entrepreneurs and investors, from government officials in state departments to doctors doing research and saving lives. We saw how they learned from their predecessors, pursued their dreams, and became role models for the generations to come. Their stories are a great example of the theme of our annual convention: inherit, innovate, inspire. I would like to thank our scholarship committee members and our sponsors. We couldn't have done all these without your efforts and your generosity. Thank you so much. In addition to the scholarship program, CESAC also created other programs to cultivate the next generations of Chinese American engineers and scientists. Thanks to Dr. Jonathan Zhang and the STEM Program Committee, our STEM seminars help students at all levels broaden their horizons and spark their interest in STEM fields. Our STEM essay contest encourage young students to be creative and develop problem-solving skills. I've also discussed another program with many of our members and former scholarship recipients. We hope to leverage CESAC's network of our members, our friends, and our scholarship recipients to help younger generations better understand their interests and hopefully take fewer detours in the future in choosing their careers. We plan to host online interviews of seasoned professionals in different fields, introducing what their daily lives are like, what exciting developments are currently happening in their fields, and also how the student can better prepare themselves if they want to join those fields. If you are interested in joining this program and sharing your insights to inspire the younger generation, or if you have any further suggestions, please reach out to us at CESAC@gmail.com or to myself personally. We will keep you posted once we have more details of this program ready. Today marks a milestone of 一甲子 for CESAC. As a part of the new CESAC leadership team, I hope we can carry on with this legacy and continue to serve the Chinese American community together with our friends in the decades to come. Thank you.
Hope you all have had a good time. Thank you for staying late. See you next year.